Chatting here with Mabel Canton coach Paul Tollefsrud. Last week, it was a matchup against Alden Conger Glenville Emmons, and it was 59-14 loss for Mabel Canton. And coach, what were your takeaways from the game last Friday?
I don't feel like we were ready to play at the very beginning, and in football, you have to be in all sports. You got to be ready to go right away at the very beginning. Um, we had opportunities early to get stops, and we weren't able to get the stops. They moved the chains, and then ended up getting some long runs on some missed tackles.
And looking at the end of the first quarter, you did have an 8-6 lead. Did you feel that maybe that lead could have been a little bit bigger had you been able to get some of those stops?
Yeah, and we stalled out there in the first quarter. We got the ball first, and we stalled out. We had a tackle for loss, and then we couldn't get going again after that. But I felt we should have. We should have controlled the first quarter. Excuse me. And been up more than what we were, and then in the second quarter we just had those missed cues, and then it's just snowball effect from there.
And is that kind of just sometimes what happens in a nine-man game? Once the momentum goes away from you, it's tough to get it back.
It is, and it's resilient, and our kids played hard. But when we needed to make plays, we didn't make plays. We were in position. It just didn't finish the play.
How do you go about getting off to a better start and being more ready when the ball goes in the air at 7 o'clock this week?
Well, that's what we've been talking about, and we have that to close out the season, we have to be ready right away. All right, and that starts in practice. When we're practice, it's meaningful and high energy and get going because we're going to face a couple good opponents here now at the last two games, and our district is very tough, and all the teams you got to be ready to play. So we're gonna have to do that in practice, and hopefully it correlates to the game then.
And obviously, as you mentioned, a couple of tough opponents, starting with Leroy Ostrander, Lyle Pacelli coming to town this Friday night. What impresses you about them on film?
And their size and their athletic, their kids are athletic. Camden Hungerholt has been a huge player for them the last 3-4 years. And again this year he's putting up big numbers, and so we got to stop him, but he's not the only one. They got they're in the district. Their wide receiver, number 20, I think Carter Sweeney is his name. He has quite a few receiving yards as well. So it's we got to stop number 11, and then hopefully the rest takes care of itself.
All right, Coach. Hopefully, you can get back on the positive end of things this week. Keep your kids healthy. We wish you best of luck.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Paul Tollefsrud, head coach of the Mabel Canton Cougars. It's Mabel Canton and Leroy Ostrander, Lyle Pacelli this week.